So, what does a person bring home after an entire lifetime of work? Is it just what you can fit in a box, or is it something much, much bigger, like the dream of a new beginning? Let's dive into the first part of this incredible short story, The Storied House, and meet a man who returns home with a dignity the world around him just isn't ready for.
So right here, this is our protagonist, Bayaji. After 35 long years working in the Bombay dockyards, he is finally coming home. Now he's over 60 years old, but look at him. He's carrying the entire weight of his household in one giant wooden box, balanced perfectly on his head. And you gotta understand, this isn't just luggage. This is the physical proof of his life's work, a burden he carries with his incredible strength that just seems to defy his age.
And this quote, man, it sets up such a powerful contrast. The journey itself is a struggle, you know? The bus is described as an obstinate bull that the passengers actually have to get out and push. But Bayaji, after all those decades of hard labor, he catches that massive box with ease. It's like the world around him is weak and falling apart, but he remains strong.
All right, so let's really get to know the man himself. Who exactly is Bayaji after all this time away? What has he been through, and what kind of person has he become? Well, Bayaji's story is all about hard work. He didn't just stay a laborer, he worked his way up to supervisor over 35 years, and his body shows it. It's sturdy, it's strong. But this last point is absolutely crucial. He's a Mahar by caste who has converted to Buddhism. Now, that's a huge detail because it signals a major shift in his identity. It's his claim to a new kind of self-respect.
So just as he's arriving, Bayaji doesn't even get a moment to breathe. His very first encounter is with a man named Bujaba, who happens to be the village headman. And believe me, this meeting immediately throws us right into the central conflict of the entire story.
And wow, this just lays the tension out so perfectly. On the left, you see the traditional greeting, super subservient, that's expected from someone of Bayaji's caste. But what does Bayaji say? A simple, direct, and equal greeting. Greetings to you, sir. He's not bowing down anymore. He's standing tall, balancing his life on his head and addressing the headman as an equal.
And Bujaba's reaction? It's instant, and it is absolutely venomous. This quote says it all, doesn't it? To him, Bayaji's simple, dignified greeting is an act of rebellion. He immediately attacks Bayaji's caste, his new faith, trying to shove him right back into a box of social inferiority. He is furious that Bayaji dares to act like he's worthy of respect.
Now, Bayaji is smart. He holds his tongue because he knows he has to live in this village. But then, Bohaba's tone completely flips to this kind of fake, mocking sympathy. So you have to ask yourself, what's his real angle here? The story tells us he's a known rascal. Is he really just upset about tradition? Or is something else going on?
And there it is, the answer. 2,500 rupees. This is Bayaji's entire retirement fund. His whole life savings from 35 years of back-breaking work. And suddenly, it all clicks into place. Bujaba's anger wasn't just about social status, it was about greed. He was trying to figure out how much money Bayaji had on him.
Okay, so thankfully that cold, hostile welcome from the village headman isn't the whole story, not by a long shot. Let's move on, because a much warmer, much more real reception is waiting for him just down the path.
This scene, it's everything the first one wasn't. His 85-year-old mother, who's still going strong, she comes out and performs a ritual to welcome him and ward off any evil. His grandkids are clinging to him, his wife quietly comes and takes the heavy box from his head. This, right here, is the true homecoming, one that's filled with love and joy, not prejudice and greed.
So you can just imagine the scene, right? The whole family is gathered around and the excitement is building. His sons, his daughters, his grandkids, they're all wondering the same thing. After 35 years of sacrifice, what has their father brought for them? What treasures could possibly be inside that massive wooden box?
And then, the box is opened. But instead of fancy clothes or gold jewelry, it's just filled with the most ordinary things. Some pots and pans, a bag of nails, and a few photographs. You can actually hear the disappointment from his daughters. Is this it? Is this all a lifetime of labor gets you?
But Bayaji, he just smiles at their reaction. He knows what they don't. He knows that the real gift, the true inheritance he's brought home for them, isn't something you can hold in your hands or keep in a box.
And what he says next is just, it's so profound. He explains to his kids that clothes would just tear and any ornaments would eventually wear out. He wants to give them something permanent, something that will last for generations to come.
And that something
is a storied house. Yeah, not the typical one-level hut, but a multi-story building. For a family of their social standing in that village, this is more than just a house. It is an audacious, absolutely revolutionary dream.
And that leaves us with this really powerful question to think about. In a village where social hierarchy is literally everything, what does it mean for a man from a so-called untouchable caste to dare to build a house that stands taller than even the headman's? You see, this isn't just about building a shelter. It's a declaration of dignity, a statement of equality, and a vision for a future that refuses to be kept down.